Welcome back to MUFC Corner, the home of passionate Manchester United debate and the latest transfer news. Today, we're diving into one of the summer's hottest stories, the Bryan Mbeumo transfer saga and the shock late interest from Newcastle United and Tottenham Hotspur. Will United get their man, or are we about to see another dramatic hijack in the Premier League? Let's start with the basics. Bryan Mbeumo, Brentford star forward, has just come off a sensational season, 20 Premier League goals, only behind the likes of Salah, Hijack, and Haaland. Manchester United have made him a top target, with negotiations ongoing and confidence high that a deal can be struck. Brentford's asking price? £60 million, which would make Mbeumo one of the most expensive signings in United's recent history. But just as United fans were getting excited, the transfer plot thickened. Newcastle United, long-term admirers of Mbeumo, are tipped to make a late move. Former midfielder Don Hutchinson even said he'd be stunned if Newcastle didn't try to hijack the deal. Newcastle need competition for Jacob Murphy on the right and see Mbeumo as the perfect fit. Versatile, proven in the Premier League, and able to play both wide and centrally. However, there's a catch. Newcastle have cooled their interest recently due to two major factors: Mbeumo's preference for Manchester United and his hefty wage demands. Reports suggest he's asking for £250,000 a week, well above Newcastle's current top earners. That's a huge leap for the Magpies, who are carefully managing their wage structure as they look to build sustainably. But in football, things can change fast. If Mbeumo gives Newcastle any encouragement, they could swoop in with a late bid, especially since they're still searching for attacking reinforcements. Over the weekend, Newcastle made inquiries for Brighton's João Pedro and Nottingham Forest's Anthony Elanga, showing they're still in the market for a right-sided forward. As if that wasn't enough drama, Tottenham Hotspur are also lurking. With Thomas Frank set to become Spurs' new manager after a successful stint at Brentford, there's growing speculation that he'll try to bring Mbeumo with him to North London. Frank knows Mbeumo inside out, having signed him from Troyes in 2019 and developed him into a Premier League star. Now, with Spurs looking to build on their Europa League triumph and aiming for Champions League football, Mbeumo could be the perfect addition to their attack. For United, the pressure is on. The club is confident, but they know how quickly a transfer can unravel if rivals get involved. United's new leadership under Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe have shown ambition this summer, already landing Matheus Cunha and pushing for more top-tier talent. But they can't afford to drag their feet or get outbid, especially with the memory of past transfer sagas still fresh in fans' minds. Let's talk about what Mbeumo would bring to United. He's quick, direct, and clinical in front of goal. His versatility means he can play on the right, as a central striker, or even drop deeper to link play. In Ruben Amorim's system, he'd add a new dimension to United's attack, working alongside Cunha and potentially other new signings. His Premier League experience means he could hit the ground running, something United desperately need after a season of inconsistency up front. But there are risks. The £60 million fee is hefty, and the wage demands are even higher. United have to balance the books and avoid upsetting the squad's wage structure. Plus, with Newcastle and Spurs sniffing around, the club must move quickly and decisively to avoid another transfer embarrassment. From Newcastle's perspective, Mbeumo would be a statement signing. He'd add competition for Murphy, support Hijack up top, and bring goals and creativity to a side that's pushing for European football. But the financial package may be a step too far, especially with other targets like João Pedro and Anthony Elanga in the mix. For Spurs, the Thomas Frank connection is huge. If Frank is appointed, expect Spurs to make a serious play for Mbeumo. The chance to reunite with his old boss and play in a team on the rise could tempt Mbeumo, especially if United's deal stalls. So, where does this leave Manchester United? The club is still in pole position, but the saga is far from over. United must finalize terms with Brentford, agree on wages with Mbeumo, and get the deal done before rivals can hijack the move. It's a test of the new regime's negotiation skills and ambition. As fans, all we can do is watch and wait. Will United get their man, or will Newcastle or Spurs pull off a dramatic late twist? Let us know in the comments. Who do you think needs Mbeumo most? Should United break the bank, or is the risk too high? And do you see Newcastle or Spurs as real threats in this race? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Mbeumo transfer saga, smash that like button, subscribe to MUFC Corner, and hit the bell for all the latest Manchester United news and transfer updates. Thanks for watching, and as always, up the Reds!